Homeschooling for a 3-year-old. In this video, I'm going to talk about the ways in which you can home educate, homeschool your 3-year-old and the way you can help them to discover their environment around them and to stimulate their learning. So hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a homeschooling mum to an 8-year-old. My daughter is 8 now, but when she was 3, all of her learning was play-based. It was through sensory learning and exploration. It was encouraging her to follow her interest, to pick up on, tune into when she was interested in something, and to help her to discover more of that. And a really, really good way that we did that was through books. So from being a baby, I'd introduced her to books. I would read books to her, and I would, allow her to handle books and to get used to, flicking through the pages. And from being really, really young, I introduced all of that, the concept of stories and physical books and touching them, the sensory feel of physical books. And by the time she was 3, I'd started to use the books that she was interested in, those stories that she really enjoyed, as a stimulus for learning. So an example is pretty much all of the Julia Donaldson books, like the Gruffalo, Stickman, Paper Dolls. So let's take the Gruffalo, for example. So there are so many things in that we would use as the basis. So she knew the story off by heart, so we could recite the story. She could act out the different parts, like she could be the mouse and do the little mouse voice, or the the cunning fox, or the sneaky snake. So there was some drama. There was drama involved. She still loves to act out stories, to create stories and act them out. We would use the stories as a basis for art creation and craft. So making masks, for example, from the Gruffalo, we could make all the characters masks, and draw the characters, draw forest scenes, use different paint and craft techniques to create sort of forest scenes. Go out in nature. Near us, there's a forest, and they actually have a Gruffalo walk, so we could, like a Gruffalo trail, so we went and did that. And so interacting with nature, going out into nature, collecting like leaves and twigs, pieces of wood, pieces of bark, and bringing those back and creating art with those. What else? Oh, I like clay, using clay to create a Gruffalo figure, with like matchsticks for the spines and googly eyes and all that kind of thing. Beginning to write, beginning to do letter formation, like a G, creating a G for Gruffalo, that kind of thing. So many different ways to incorporate, so all of the subjects really. And so you maybe have to think creatively. Often Google is a really good help with this. Pinterest can be absolutely phenomenal. If you just Google the book that you're focusing on, whether it's going on a bear hunt, that was another one that she really enjoyed, and we got loads and loads out of that. We did map making. We created like a paper mache cave for her little toy bear to go inside. So yeah, if you Google the book that you're reading and craft activities, Gruffalo, or craft activities, going on a bear hunt, etc., there's loads of them. There's absolutely loads and loads of them there. There might be lesson plans, even if your child's a bit older and you want to introduce some literacy or numeracy, or so a bit more structured. literacy. There's loads of craft activities. There are often, you can often bring in science, all the subjects really. Obviously different stories are going to lend themselves to different topics, different subjects, but music, dance, science, even science experiments. If you relate that to the Gruffalo, you could do some kind of nature experiment, measuring trees, doing tally charts to do with the number of trees in the forest. The possibilities are endless. This is what I'm trying to get across. There's absolutely loads and loads of scope. And what we used to do, we had, as a home ed community, we had a Facebook group, and there would be a different book for each, chosen for each month. And so everybody would be reading the same book at the same time, and we'd all kind of pool our ideas, creating files in the Facebook group and just posting any links, and also posting the photographs of the activities that we've done, to inspire each other and to kind of gee each other along, and to build some momentum with doing it, because obviously as a home educator it can often feel a bit isolating and like you're doing it all on your own. But to have a community like that where you're all not necessarily doing the same thing, but your focus is the same, but there's so much scope for your child to take it in the direction that they want to. So if your child is very interested in a particular topic or a particular school academic subject, you can take it in that particular direction. And obviously your choice of book might be influenced as well by your child's interests. My cat is meowing in the background. So yeah, it was very much an approach. At the age of 3, it was very much a child-led, and it still is, to be honest, even when she's 8, even though we're doing some more structured work now, it is very much still child-led, an autonomous sort of education that follows her lead and is tuned into what makes her tick. Because to me, that is when children learn the best, when they're switched on, when they're the learning is meaningful to them, because it's significant to them, it's important to them, they want to learn more about it. So yeah, that has been the way really for us. That has been a really, really good way to stimulate, to create a stimulating learning environment using a book as a stimulus. It's gone off on lots of different tangents, and I'm sure I'll share in the future some of the projects that we've developed. And there's been some amazing sort of craft projects that we've done. But I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more about home educating your preschooler or your primary age child in a more free range way. And I will speak to you soon.